You might well have seen me playing the part of Giles in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But in reality, I've not been scouring the darkest places of the world in search of supernatural creatures. Until now. I've decided to leave fantasy behind for something far more frightening. The supernatural terrors of the real world. In this film, I'm going to look for the truth behind a creature not fully alive, nor completely dead. Come with me into the twilight world of zombies.
Welcome to a night of total terror.
I've always thought of zombies as a bit of a joke, really. Herds of stiff-limbed, mindless corpses out to eat your flesh, but easy to outrun, and about as scary as an animated hamburger.
But is that all there is to it? A zombie's just a great piece of movie fiction. Any book, or scientist, or sociologist will say the same thing. Zombies do not exist. Except for in Hollywood. Or Haiti. That Caribbean country known for its voodoo, its poverty, and its living dead.
Not a lot of people holiday in Haiti. Though it's set in the beautiful Caribbean, it's now the worn-out third of the very island Christopher Columbus claimed as the New World in 1492. The first Black Republic, and the first country ever to be created by a slave revolt. The only person I could find who's been there is journalist Ross Benson.
And you've not long been back from there. Can you tell me what's it like there at the moment?
We've got a UN peacekeeping force trying to impose some kind of law and order, but you've also got gangs of youths. They're all armed with machetes. A lot of them are armed with guns. It's the machetes that worry me. I mean, last time I was there, someone lost his ear, someone got his head cleaved. You've also got corruption. You've got abject poverty. You've got AIDS. When you go to Barbados, it's only across the Caribbean. You'll be safer.
I mean, you paint a very bleak picture, but it's not really that bad, is it?
If you take the wrong turning on the wrong night and run into the wrong people, it's about as dangerous as it gets.
Now, how can you resist a review like that? Wish you were here. Anyway, I have to see for myself.
Merci, au revoir. So here I am, at the Haitian capital of Port-au-Prince. The Hotel Olafson, where the rich and powerful used to come to play.
It doesn't look that dangerous.
Wow.
Well, where do you start looking for zombies? In a cemetery, perhaps. Of course, I've landed during one of the wildest voodoo celebrations of the year. It seems it's the Haitian version of the Day of the Dead. From what I can gather, it's in honor of the great spirit Gede, who presides over the cemeteries. The spirit of sex and death. Some people become possessed by this lascivious spirit. Their minds empty, driven like puppets by their master's will. That sounds and looks like zombies to me. But everyone tells me these are not zombies. They just look like them. Their one-eyed sunglasses divide the world into dark and light, life and death. They drink and lampoon sex and death, their faces whitened like a corpse. They bump and grind, strut and thrust their way through the graves in anarchic glee. These are the most living dead I've ever seen. But when night falls, the cemetery empties, and armed gangs roam the streets. I get a ride back with Claude Douget. Claude is an Ogun, a voodoo priest. He must know about zombies. Are zombies just a myth?
No, it's not. It exists. It's part of our life, whether we like it or not, but it's dangerous. And in fact, myself, I don't really like to talk about zombies because I know how the system works. You talk too much, and that's it.
Oh, great. Just what I want to hear. I've made it through vampires, demons, werewolves, and witches. Am I finally going to come unstuck with zombies? Haitian mornings are a great relief. Maybe that's because the nights are full of thunderstorms and gunfire. Still, zombies never sleep, so I best get to work. I'll try the voodoo priest I met last night.
Claude? Yes, I wonder if we could meet.
Claude invites me to his peristyle, his voodoo temple.
And as you can see, this is my peristyle, and you're welcome.
Thank you.
And one of the ways to say that you're welcome is to put some water on the floor.
Frankly, I was expecting a voodoo priest to be a lot scarier. Claude's actually very gentle and quite melodic. He leads me into the inner sanctum of his temple, keen to show voodoo in a positive light.
This is where I pray. The philosophy of voodoo is based on we have one God, a God of love, and we have spirit, a lower energy that help us reach God.
I must admit, over in Europe, we only think about voodoo in a negative way, not in a positive way like that. We always heard about voodoo being for people to harm or get revenge on their enemies.
Actually, we're doing social work, and we take care of the community. I'm receiving like 15 or 20 people a day. Sometimes they come here just to get some food. Sometimes they came here just to have somebody to talk to. And sometimes they come here because they have some voodoo problem and they want to solve it. So I receive them.
It's very peaceful. Back outside, and the reason I'm here. If zombies are real, then what are they?
First of all, there is the astral zombies, which is really common in Haiti. Everybody talks about it. And
Claude says that astral zombies are captured spirits, which voodoo priests use to do their bidding. He can't say any more because only initiates can know all the secrets, but apparently they have their uses.
You can use it to make money. You can use it to help people. You can use it also as well to harm people.
And what about the other type of zombie that we know from the movies, which is the living dead?
I've seen myself movies about zombies, and most of them are really ridiculous. It's like, kind of humoristic. But they exist. I don't deal with zombies. I don't make zombies. So all I can tell you is we can find out people that can make zombies and talk to them. And I'm not too sure they'll tell you how.
Have you ever seen a zombie? I mean, not an astral zombie, but one of these living dead that you talk about.
Actually, I've seen one, and this is something that I will never forget. I was going on the south side of the country to see somebody, and I was just driving. And along the road, I see two guys just walking. as the light of the car lighting the face of the guy. It was like a nightmare. And I will never forget that look on these eyes. You could see only terror and emptiness. The body is alive, but the expression inside the eyes is like telling you there's no more life. And what was terrifying, the night was quiet, and you could hear the sound of the whip. And the guy went hiding with his master.
You say it's still widely done.
There are many cases of zombification. People are afraid to talk about it because it's totally illegal.
What are the chances of my ever being able to find one?
Well, I'll tell you that I heard stories. I'll ask. There's no promise.
I woke up this morning to a city in turmoil. The police are rounding up supporters of ousted President Aristide. They were on a rampage last night. It hasn't taken long for Claude to be contacted by someone who said they can take us to a zombie. By evening, we've been told to park up here and wait for instructions. It may not be the best idea in the world. Things look calm enough now, but the fighting's getting worse.
You heard what happened today?
No.
Two army guys had their head cut off.
2 army guys?
Yes. They had their head cut off downtown. So,
Oh, shit.
no. I'm kind of not scared, but I don't feel comfortable waiting for a guy who was supposed to show us some zombies. I don't know. What do you think? Should we get the guy inside the car and let him take us to a place where there's a zombie? It's not a good idea.
No.
But that's the only way it will work out, because this is like an underworld.
There must be
And,
some kind of proof that you can give us, without us just blindly
Oh,
following
yeah.
him somewhere. Comes the rain.
Oui. Ça passe. Non, mon cher, bon. Avant de faire charité dans le parking, on va me venir. Oui. Non, mon cher, non seulement faire charité dans le parking, he says we have to drive to his place and bring the money, and then he's going to take us to the place.
Don't be funny.
That doesn't sound right to me.
No, that doesn't sound right to me at all.
No, I think we should leave. I don't even know how he got my phone number. Yeah, that's the problem. We're heading back to the hotel.
Last night was a bit unnerving. Maybe there is nothing to zombies but a way of making money. I don't know. Anyway, Claude's still looking and suggested I stay at the hotel. There were headless corpses on the streets this morning. It seems the insurrection is in full swing. A quiet drink might be safest.
Yeah.
Wow, you're really wet.
Yes, I am. You speak English. That's a very good thing. Une bière, s'il vous plaît. Merci bien. Cheers. Who's the guy on the wall?
Oh, that's a papier-mâché of Jean-Jacques Dessalines.
Who he?
Jean-Jacques Dessalines was the commander of the indigenous army who led the slaves to independence. So he's considered as the father of the nation.
Of Haiti.
Yeah.
So how did the slaves come to Haiti?
First of all, the Spanish, they came to Haiti in 1492. And they found the population of natives, like the Caribs, Arawaks, and Tainos. In less than 10 years, the Spanish exterminated that population.
How many people?
We're talking about millions of people. And after that, around 1503, I think a priest, a Catholic priest, Bartolome of Las Casas, he came up with the brilliant idea to bring black slaves from Africa, because he said that, you know, they were well built and they were living under the same climate conditions like Haiti.
Very enterprising of him.
So the Spanish started that. And then it was followed by the French, who did the same thing. So Haiti took its independence in 1804. That means, let's say,
300 years.
300 years of slavery. The war started at the end of 1801. 2 years later, 3 years in 1804, they proclaimed independence.
Out with the French?
1st, 1804, yes, they kicked them out.
So were the French cool about that?
I don't think so. Because, you know, what they had to lose is the slaves.
Slavery was that important?
Oh, yes, it was important. Like now, oil is important to the world economy. So slavery was important to the world economy then.
It was that important?
Yes, because the industrialist revolution didn't happen yet.
I'm sorry, I haven't introduced my. I'm Anthony Head. How do you do?
Abuja.
That's cool. This is. I have to tell you, I'm here investigating. Well, zombies basically, and how zombies relate to voodoo.
Interesting.
Are they real?
For sure, I can tell you, their story are real. But the thing is, I've never met a zombie, I've never seen a zombie, and I've never made any zombies. I don't know the technology.
My drinking partner turns out to be no less than an emperor, a voodoo priest who leads a large community of his own. But he's loath to say much about zombies.
But the only thing I can tell you is that secret societies exist in Haiti, and the secret societies sometimes are used as, you know, justice system, and sometimes the verdict is very strong. So what they do sometimes, instead of killing someone, they just punish you, and punishing you by, you know, in a way enslaving the people to make them work for what they've done.
And with that tantalizing thought, he simply smiles and won't say more. I take Abuja's number and head off with Claude.
Yeah, you were shooting last night?
Yeah, there was machine gun fire. M6, well,
Yeah, in fact, we were
M16.
shooting downtown. Violence is everywhere.
We managed to avoid trouble on our way out of town. Claude has got us invitations to one of the secret societies that Abuja spoke about. In a country where chaos reigns, secret societies keep things going on a local level. The rest of the country might be going to hell, but nothing is going to stop this annual voodoo celebration. This Bizango secret society practices Makanda, apparently the most violent form of voodoo. It was invented by the warriors who poisoned and murdered every white they could get their hands on in the War of Independence. That makes me feel a wee bit uncomfortable. According to Claude, one of the goals of voodoo is to become possessed by the spirits, to lose yourself and be consumed by a greater power, like a willing zombie in some ways. This woman is undoubtedly possessed, but by what? I find this really hard to watch. That went on all night. I've got together with Abuja and his friend Caroline, but his stories are less than reassuring.
It is very serious. You see, in Haiti, you don't know what you eat. 1982, they arrested a guy who was supplying most of the hotels in Pétionville with human flesh.
Whoa!
Yes, in 1982. That guy was arrested. He was killing people and selling the flesh to most of the hotels, like Montana, El Rancho, Villa Creole. They arrested him, and when Duvalier left, he took off from jail.
Let's hope he's not out there still.
That's right, he took off from jail.
He took off from jail? He got away?
Glad I don't eat meat. I need to let that story and lunch settle. Last night's bloodbath didn't exactly fit with the image of voodoo as a religion of love.
What spiritual role does the animal sacrifice play in the ceremony?
It's what we receive. Because the animal, when it dies, it releases an energy. And I think that most everybody feeds on that energy.
As in everything, there is a dark side to voodoo, yeah?
Everything on this universe has a positive and negative side, I guess. Even to create electricity, you need 2 electrodes. We are positive and we are negative. It's how we choose to use it that makes us good or bad. The Western world wants to divide good and bad. We don't. We don't divide good and bad. We use both.
I'm off to see somebody else who uses both good and evil. A voodoo priest who has a very different opinion about the existence of zombies to that of most Haitians. An opinion so controversial, he won't permit us to show his face for fear of reprisals. I get the translator to ask if voodoo priests really create the living dead. It's all just a scam? So what do people come to voodoo priests for? To talk about marital problems like with Claude? So are zombies just a scam or another form of murder? We've just got an offer from a woman who says she can get us a real zombie. In fact, we can dig it up if we want. Every morning the damage from the nightly rioting in Port-au-Prince is cleared away. But business never stops. The word is out that I'm looking for a zombie. Tonight, I meet a businesswoman who doesn't want her face shown.
What are we talking about? How can you help us? How can you get a zombie?
J'ai participé déjà une fois à la levée.
I've already seen one zombie raised from the grave in the Gonaïves region.
Donc, je me suis démenée pour chercher.
I did it through a friend I have, a friend that is an Ogan. We raised that zombie, and he will do it again for you.
How do you do that? How do you take a body, presumably the zombie is buried?
Moi, personnellement,
Me personally, I don't know the ritual. I can't do it. It's a knowledge, a job you have to learn. I can't do it. You can come and watch, but we will not give you the secret of how to do it.
Is this without the family's knowledge?
No.
No.
They'd know?
No.
No.
They wouldn't know?
La famille ne
The
aurait
family
jamais
would
accepté
never
ça.
accept that.
And is it legal?
Oui. Dis-moi, est-ce que c'est légal?
Li pas légal.
It's not
Mais
legal.
nous connaissons un pays vaudou.
But you know, it's a voodoo country. There are sacrifices. The state doesn't know about these things.
Pour prouver,
In order to prove it, the first thing you have to get if it's a real zombie is the smell. Because when someone's dead, there will be a smell.
bon odeur. Deuxièmement,
Secondly,
avec un médecin,
you may come with a doctor to prove we're doing
on
it.
doit prendre.
You can take hair from the head,
On doit prendre rad.
you can take their clothes, put them in a bag,
Mon baou.
and take them to a doctor for analysis.
Étude li pour voir si sont vrais morts.
The hair? Or
No,
skin?
hair, a piece of skin, anything like that you want, they'll give it to you.
Le cimetière, ça.
It's a cemetery in Port-au-Prince.
Directeur général là.
The director of the cemetery has paperwork every time a deceased is brought in.
Papier ça, n'a
We can give you these forms to prove that the person really died.
Directeur général là détient un papier.
The director has these forms on which you'll find the deceased's name, date of birth, date and time of death, what plot they are buried in. All these things are proof.
Il va être enterré. Donc tout ça, ce sont des preuves pour maintenant dire.
How much money does she want for this?
Je vous dis combien comme ça coûte pour aller pour l'assister et lever.
Il coûte un peu, oui. 2 millions de US.
Asking 2,000 US.
$2,000.
On fait faire déjà 2 ans, c'était 1000 combien?
Not expensive for a body.
And they will also have police protection.
Police protection.
Yes.
Wow. And all that comes within the $2,000.
Yes.
It's very interesting.
Et ça qui est très important.
What is very important is he can't just call me the day before. We need to keep our eye on the bodies of the recently deceased. We can't do it if they've been dead a long time. We also need to give the cemetery director plenty of notice so he can keep an eye out for a fresh body. If the corpse is more than 10 days old, we can't take it.
10 jours, non pas qu'à prendre.
Has anyone come to you with a proposition like that before?
Anthony, I have to tell you, I've been working in the community for quite some years and being a hunger, and that's the first time that I'm shocked. Yeah, and the most disgusting side is that she's coming with a smile and she's a lady. You know,
The smell was a good thing. Smell was a great reference.
also that she's willing to let us take a little part of the body and to do an ADN test.
Oh yeah,
Meaning
let's
that-
chop a bit off.
Meaning that it's like telling you that, listen, this country is a country of sacrifice. You can go ahead and take the body and do whatever you want and say to the world that here in Haiti we make zombies and we have nothing to be scared because we have police protection, there's administration protection.
Yeah. Well, brother.
And last time I was telling you to back off. Now we are going to back off. But this is too big. This is deep. This is the mafia. This is the mafia of Haiti. This is the mafia of killings. I gotta stop.
Yeah. So listen.
Jim, this is fucked.
We say no. Of course we say no.
Man, I'm gonna leave this country. I'm serious. I'm gonna leave. Get that off. Sorry. Shit.
I'm losing it. This place does your head in. Is it just a real offer or just another ruse? And what are they going to do? Throw some poor bastard in a coffin? Drugged and beaten so that when they're pulled out they can be revived? Delving into zombies is like quicksand. The more you question and struggle, the more you're sucked down to a place you really, really don't want to go. I'm staying put for a couple of days. Claude's finally made contact with the men who know how zombification is done, and who've probably done it themselves. Claude said it's too dangerous for outsiders, so he went alone. Now he's back, and what he has with him are the 4 steps of a Haitian zombification.
Zombification is a process. Somebody might offend a community or harm somebody inside the community. Then the person who feel that he should have justice go to a Bokor and ask for revenge. That's the first step.
The Bokor, the voodoo sorcerer, meets with the other senior members and makes a judgment. If it's decided to go ahead, the Bokor and his assistants prepare a poison.
From what I learned, the positive is very powerful. We still don't know how it's been given to these people who got hurt. We don't know. We can just presume that it might be dangerous to touch. It's been probably given in some food, but it's just a presumption. And I think only these people who knows how to do it can really tell what happened. That's their secret. And nobody will ever tell about it. It's not easy.
Foufoua, son poison, 160,000 fois plus fort que cocaïne.
This Ogun showed us poison ivy, dried frog, crushed human bones, dried plants and unidentified magic substances. But the key is the pufferfish. In Japan, where the pufferfish is a great delicacy, 3 or 4 people die every year from eating it. But some of them suffer a worse fate. The powerful neurotoxin in the fish just makes them look dead. Stories abound of victims being buried alive. Properly administered, the powder slows the victim's metabolic rate so far that to anyone but the most experienced doctor, they appear dead.
That's what's so terrifying about zombies. It's like the person looks dead, but he's alive.
Once the victim has been poisoned, presumed dead, and put in the coffin, what do they experience?
You know, once the person is assumed to be dead, then he's going through all the process that a guy who's dead is going, meaning being put inside a morgue. You know, they're gonna bury you. You're gonna hear the sound of your loved one crying and rocks being thrown on your coffin.
How do they breathe?
Well, that I can explain that, because if the metabolism is very slow, the brain doesn't need that much oxygen.
It's like hibernation for an animal.
Exactly.
The horror of being buried alive is one of the deepest fears in the human psyche. Trapped in the dark, paralyzed, while insects invade your body. The Bokor's henchmen dig up the body up to a week later. If the lack of oxygen or the psychological scars of being buried alive haven't already done so, the zombie powder will cause serious brain damage. This leaves the victim robbed of their will, their character. The Bokor then keeps what's left as a slave. The victim's old life has ended. They're led into the night to begin their new life as a zombie.
The men we know, that men are known for the labor power. they have muscle. But a woman have a body. So what will happen to a zombie if she's a woman inside a place where there's men that don't have any respect for life?
But how are the zombies kept servile?
We know that they don't give salt to the zombies. But salt is getting the blood pressure high. So something is probably given to them to keep their blood pressure down.
It seems the only ways a zombie can escape are either if the Bokor dies or if the zombies revolt. But this is rare. In what must be the darkest form of slavery, most zombies can only find release in death. I don't think it can be a coincidence that zombies share so much with slavery. To be robbed of your individuality, your life. To be abused by your master as something less than human. To become a thing whose only freedom is death. The streets are quieter today. People look incredibly young here. And they are. Thanks to grinding poverty, AIDS, and natural disasters, the average life expectancy in Haiti is only 43. This is the first place I've been where I should already be dead. I may know a bit about how Haitians say zombies are made, but I'm no nearer to confirming if they're real. I need some facts, scientific proof.
Bonjour, est-ce que je peux parler avec Dr. Chauvin Douillon, s'il vous plaît? Oui? Dr. Douillon, I'm feeling really lost here. I feel like I'm going way down the road of one road of belief, and I kind of feel like I need to go some way down the other. I need some sort of scientific explanation for what's going on. How do you define a zombie?
Que ce sont des malades mentaux.
They are mentally ill people of a very particular type. They are schizophrenics, catatonic schizophrenics. Those suffering this illness often act just like a zombie.
On se comporte comme un zombie.
And well, how do you treat them?
Un zombie n'est pas traitable.
A zombie is not treatable. They cannot be re-educated because there are many brain lesions.
Have you ever seen or studied any zombies?
Je fais moi-même partie, j'avais fait partie.
I was part of a research team that tested 3 cases of zombification. We tested their DNA. The results show conclusively that there was no relation between the zombie and the supposed mother and father.
If they're not related, what do the families and zombie get out of it?
Les deux ont trouvé une sorte de compensation.
Both have found something they need. You see, people who have lost a relative are happy to find their loved one alive. And the zombie is just happy to be accepted, to be taken in somewhere. Is good for them both.
Donc c'est bon pour les deux.
Once it was revealed that the zombies had no blood ties to the families, what became of them?
Et bon, ils étaient abandonnés.
They were abandoned. Children often mock and throw stones at crazy people. Or indeed, they die. Or occasionally, some kind soul takes them in.
If zombies don't exist, then why do so many Haitians believe in them?
Haitians don't accept death. When a family member dies, somebody has to be responsible.
Do all psychologists, psychiatrists in Haiti think the same way as you, or do some believe in zombies?
No, they don't believe in them at all.
Okay, just as I think we're back in the rational world, I try Dr. Duyon's boss, and I'm sent straight back into the Twilight Zone. The director of the psychiatric center is a man called Dr. Jeannie Girard. He doesn't want to appear on camera, and I can understand why. He says he's been treating a zombie for 20 years near the town of Cap-Escien. He says we can meet her if we want. I say yes. Only in Haiti would a psychiatrist be sending me to visit a zombie. Finally, this is the house where I'm going to see a zombie. This woman is a zombie, according to director of the Psychiatric Center of Port-au-Prince, Dr. Girard. He says he has a copy of her death certificate. This is her father. He's cleaned her and cared for her for 20 years. This is her story. In 1984, age 16, Jeanne was seized by inexplicable stomach cramps and convulsions.
What she had was convulsions. The convulsions took her, and then she went like this. She shook like this, and then tossed and turned until we took her to the doctor.
She was sedated and sent home by a medical doctor. However, the next day, Jeanne was found dead at school.
She was dead. We took her to the funeral parlor.
No one will ever know for certain what happened to her once she was buried. All that is known is that a brain-damaged girl stumbled into the village 9 months later.
She hadn't died. After 9 months, she returned. She came back and appeared there, in the doorway. I said, that looks like Jeanne. Jeanne! It is Jeanne.
I felt so happy. I was joyous. She used to have this mark. I looked to see if it was there. Once while she was doing her hair, she got slightly burnt. I looked for that. Then I saw it. I took her. I was so happy. Then everyone arrived to see her. They took her to the hospital.
Is this poor woman really a zombie? Her condition is certainly heartbreaking, but can we believe her family story? I've hit a bit of a brick wall, really. We've got that close, as they say, and just things have started to fall apart. In order to get proof of Jeanne's story, we have to pay a ludicrous amount of money, American dollars, for what can only be described as extremely dodgy-looking documents. In the meanwhile, her namesake, Harrigan Jeanne, has blown through Haiti, killing 3,000 people. The street fighting here in Port-au-Prince may erupt into civil war. The Americans are moving their people out. And now, I don't know, our worst fears have been realized. The crew went off to film without me. And were kidnapped and held to ransom by a gang. Machete-wielding, frothing at the mouth, but it was not political. They just got wind of the fact that we were making a film about zombies, and they just went berserk.
Everybody's okay. They're visibly shaken and poorer, but alive.
In a land of darkness and light, darkness has taken over Haiti. Filming has become impossible. We fly out tomorrow. I'm left not knowing what to think. To those of us who live safe lives, zombies seem ridiculous. But to many Haitians, zombies are all too real. They haunt the island as the embodiment of 500 years of violence, slavery, and death. Perhaps that's the true horror of zombies.